We really need to come together to heal together. Trauma is a natural response that our body has and our nervous system has in the face of a really challenging and overwhelming situation. So there's an intelligence behind trauma, and there's also a limit to its capacity to be supportive to us. It takes that overwhelming amount of energy and information and it encapsulates it. And so it takes some energy and some effort from our own nervous system to keep it encapsulated and fragmented out from our conscious awareness. Our capacity to deal with overwhelm gets overwhelmed. That's when we start to see very disruptive behaviors, people getting enraged over very small things, or getting very disassociated in situations that really don't pose a threat to people's lives. I needed to look at trauma because of my own personal story. When I was younger, I used to have a really difficult time because I felt so much shame. I felt like there was something really wrong with me, and I couldn't understand why. And as I started to look for answers, one of the things that I realized is that as a Mexican that has indigenous roots living in Mexico, I realized that actually it was not just me, that Mexico has an identity issue because we haven't finished accepting our roots with honor and respect. And that, particularly the indigenous side of this. And I explored that through my own healing process, and coming together with a group of indigenous communities, coming together with a group of psychotherapists from Mexico of different origins, we engaged in conversations to find what are the values of people who have indigenous roots. And I got to see that there was a lot that I had missed in my education around the beauty and the value of indigenous wisdom. I could also see the impacts of trauma in the communities that were there. But what I walked away with was with a sense of how important it is to have a new way of relating with our indigenous roots for us. I think not just as Mexicans, but I think the whole of Latin America and other, communities where colonialism has been an issue. The other part, though, in my Spanish root and the root that has experienced more privilege, has been noticing the numbing, the not being able to feel that there is also shame and guilt there around how that part of my ancestry treated the other part. I believe that many of us people who have a mixed heritage walk with a question that can become an answer to how can we live with these conflicts and try to find new ways of relating that can create a higher order harmony based on compassion, based on, the right, recognizing everybody's right to be. When we engage with other people, often the trauma that lives in us will emerge in our relationships without our knowing. And so the space of social change systems, as with any organization, will be informed by what people bring with them to the relational space. So when many of us are carrying trauma and we're not aware and we engage with others, that trauma is going to seep out into the relational space. Then that space of relatedness will get infused with the traumas that we carry. So if we embrace this view and we embrace that, all of us carry some part of it, especially collective trauma. We all carry some part of it. So we need to come together to heal together, especially because there's a part of the dimension of trauma that can only heal collectively. When they enter into a group field, when they see that a lot of other people are dealing with the same, that this other collective part of their identity can relax and say, oh my God, it's real that there's nothing wrong with me, but that we're all carrying this wound together. And that's why I feel it's so important for all of us to do our work. It's so important to know that this is not an easy journey, because our bodies are holding all these undigested information of overwhelming experiences. So this will be we'll experience discomfort, we will experience fear, we will experience shame. And The beauty of that, though, is that it'll call forth our courage, our care, our heart. It will be kind of like a collective hero journey for humanity. We really need to come together to heal together. Our nervous systems were designed to connect. When we're connecting with other people that we feel safe with, that's when we can best heal from these wounds. And so this is an invitation for us to come together as humanity and really engage in healing and creating a much deeper relatedness that can bring forth the best of us. It will also require that we connect with our courage, with our care, with our hearts. So trauma, as challenging as it can be to face, it will also help you discover the deepest light that you have to bring to the world.